So as the rabbi just said, he asked me to say a few words on the subject of regret that might be relevant to our fast this Yom Kippur. And I have no special rabbinical or other religious training for the purpose, but most of us of a certain age know that feelings of regret do come with the territory. Some regrets are for acts that we committed, the unkind thing we wish we hadn't said, the apology we refused to accept, or worse, of course. And these are what might be called conduct regrets, or more properly, misconduct regrets. But some of the most important regrets are for acts of omission, failures to do what, upon reflection, we might have done, but didn't do. The Kol Nidre prayer speaks of vows made and not kept. Should I have taken more time off over the years? Should have I expressed my feelings better? Should I have stayed in touch with that friend from years ago? Did I live a life true to my values? These mistakes of omission can be much more difficult for us to acknowledge. We hide these mistakes from ourselves just by not thinking about them. Life can go by in a complicated blur. The upside to regret is that conscious acknowledgement can itself lead to change, and sometimes regrets are a wake-up, a personal call to action. The acknowledgement of a mistake, the recognition of the mistake, is the first of Maimonides' 5 steps to repentance. And this message never grows old. I understand that the acknowledgement of mistake is also one of the 10 rules of living in a book by Serena and Venus Williams. Now, as some folks here know, I may never get a consistent second serve, and I may regret that. But a couple of years ago, a conversation with my wife led me to acknowledge that I was making one of those more important mistakes of omission, and it changed my career in an important and helpful way. I had been working as a lawyer in-house at a large insurance company for nearly 25 years, and I was in private practice for more than a decade before that. And these were mostly happy places for me to work. And then one day recently, my wife pointed out that we are of a certain age. And she asked, "Are you doing what you want to do for the rest of your career?" All along that happy blur of nearly 40 years, I had pushed aside thoughts that I first wanted to become a lawyer watching the Watergate hearings. Now, for those of you who don't remember, Watergate, there are folks here, you know, who don't remember that. Watergate was an investigation in the early 1970s of crimes and abuse of power by President Nixon and his staff. And I was in high school, and I was impressed by the courage and the effort, the bipartisan effort of those lawyers who I watched after school each day trying to keep a federal government honorable and just. Now, I wanted to work for the government. So, was I doing what I want to do for the rest of my career? And the question my wife asked made me recognize and acknowledge that I regretted never getting that government job. And I'm pleased to report that I am now working as a trial attorney at the Justice Department, and it brings me great personal satisfaction. At a certain age, who knows how long it will last, but at least I can report that the Amtrak train between New York and Washington is not so bad. The hidden benefit of acknowledging regrets is that by recognizing them, one understands better what we value. We can make choices differently in the future, even if we can't fix the past. And this, after all, is a core message of Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur gives us time to acknowledge to ourselves mistakes we regret, because only then can we begin to learn from them. So this Yom Kippur, allow yourself to feel regret. It may be uncomfortable today, but acknowledging those regrets may open a door you didn't even know you were looking for.